Alright guys, this is the last part for the tutorial, and then we're just going to be finishing up all the little major details and then minor details. Okay. First, what I'm going to do is work on the cabinet. So I'm going to select this edge here, click on loop, loop. Okay, and also these here, all the ones that are running horizontally, I want to select them and then hit loop. And then this guy here at the bottom. Okay, after I have those selected down, one more here, loop. Okay, once I have those, I want to click on chamfer, and I want to bring my amount down really low, because what we're creating is that soft kind of bevelly kind of edge there. I'm going to say 2 segments, so something like that. Click OK. Alright, and then same thing on these corners. The back we don't have to, just the front for now. Again, hit loop. It should select all the way around, and then same thing. You can leave the settings out there. Click OK. So, and, in theory, like if you look at it, it looks much smoother when you look at it. So it looks like it's polished. Okay, the back doesn't really matter too much because most likely you won't see it, but the front is where it displays out, so you want to have that clean. Okay. Next, you want to hinges for the doors, door handles, drawer handles, and anything else that kind of comes to my mind after that. Alright, so we're going to be working on the front view first. So what I'm going to do is go to rectangle, and I'm going to find a spot here. I'm going to say create a rectangle and move it about so, and I'm going to create circles. Okay, actually if you create one circle, get it right size of it, and then just move it down, shift move it as a copy 2 times, so you have 3. Okay, I want to select this, go into edit spline, click on attach, and attach these 3 to it. Okay, and then we're going to shift move it over like so. So one stays on the cabinet, the other one goes on the door. Okay, as an instance. Okay, so if you look at it, this stays on the door, and this stays on the door. I'm sorry, cabinet. Now, since they're instance, I can select both, one corner, and then do the fillet on here to kind of round those out. Okay, and then I'm going to create a cylinder here. So create a random cylinder, and then I'm going to rotate it with my angle snap down, rotate it 90 degrees. Like so, and I'm going to increase the height. Okay, now this is not the best way to do it, but it works great. So I'm not gonna argue against it, because it's the detail is there, but it's just very hard to see. Okay, so I'm gonna select all 3 of these, and I'm gonna move them to the front. Okay, and then this is kind of how you want to line them up, like so. Okay, now it's going to be hard to select these pieces, so what I want to do is I'm going to hold on Alt. I want to hold on Alt, and I want to click on cylinder here. They'll deselect the cylinder. Okay, then add a bevel modifier to this, and I'm just going to bring the height down and turn off level 2. Okay, so 0.0, 0.2, and then level 2 at 0.2 and negative. Negative 0.1, something like that. Okay, something not that fancy either, but it'll work. And this cylinder could actually stick out a little bit more. Okay, and the cylinder we can also smooth out the edges if you need to, but I think it's okay. So what I'm going to do is go to edit poly here and select polygon. Okay, a little bit of height, and then oops, bevel. Like so. Okay, so you only have to do it one time, you don't have to do multiple times. Okay, and then I'm gonna move these in so they're pretty much touching each other. Same thing to this one. Okay, now these two I want to attach together. This one I'm gonna leave by itself. So, and also I want to name these. So I'm gonna call this one door hinge 01, and this one's gonna be select cylinder and then click on attach. Okay, and then this one's going to be cab hinge. Okay, something like that. Now select these two, shift move it down once, instance of course. Now select them both and hit the mirror tool and instance of course on the X, click OK and move it over to this side. Something like so. Okay. Now what we want to do is select these two guys here and then go to our link up here, so click on link, selecting link, drag a marquee to the door, select these two and drag a marquee to the cabinet. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to click on this, click, hold and drag it to the door, click, hold and oops, click, hold and drag it to the door. This one, click, hold and drag it to the cabinet, click, hold and drag it to the cabinet. Okay, so that way when I rotate this, that hinge rotates with it. Real fancy. Okay, I'm gonna go to the front viewport really quick. I'm gonna try to finish this up. I only got a few more minutes on my timer over here. So you know these you can do however you want to: rectangles, boxes, squares, circles. But this is just going to be the part that holds the okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw one line, one vertex there and then one vertex here. Okay, and I'll show you guys how to do this real quick. Okay, now both of these I want to turn on. Oops, I want to turn on this one. I'm going to do extrude, like so, and the line I'm going to turn on render viewport, go to vertex and select that very top vertex and then rotate it. Okay, and this vertex comes out. Like so, and then you can have this kind of fly out or not, that's up to you, but that's what it's going to be. And this will also make this so it also can be hinged. You know, we'll move the pivot point for it, something like that, and then if we move the pivot point for this guy to about there, this will rotate like so. Okay, it's kind of convenient. Now, these, how we link these is this one links to this, and this one links to that. Okay, shift move it here as an instance. Same thing. This will link to the box, and the box will link to the door. Okay, and these doors will link to the cabinet. Same here. These will link to the cabinet. Okay, now real quick on these two. Okay, so what I can do is I can just be like, oh, okay, whatever, that's fine, you know, like whatever looks right about the moment, something like so, and then give it a little bit of bevel to it, just a little bit. The old setting should work. And then create a quick door handle using lines or another technique that we have. So I'm short on time, so I'm just gonna use the line tool here. So, oops. Okay. Now note, guys, that I'm just kind of moving these in, but you know, if you want more detail, you can always spend more time putting in the little holes for the everything like this. So I'm gonna turn this into Bezier, kind of smooth this out only on the X. Like so. Okay. It doesn't have to look great. I'm just gonna say this is artistic. Alright, and then I'm gonna link this to this, and then move this guy over to here. Like so. I can have two, 1 and 2, or I can just have one. It's up to me or up to you, how you guys have it. And then this part would link to, oops, this would link to that. And the pivot point on this also we're gonna move like so. Okay. And I'm going to shift move those over as an instance and select these two and shift move them down 3 times like so. Alright guys, so there you go. Really quick. It's all, you know, this one took about 45 minutes, I say. So really quick, and then, you know, it makes for a great presentation because it looks detailed. You put enough time into it. As far as that goes, and then, you know, anytime you need to change any of these, you are more, you know, you have more of the freedom to do so. I'm gonna put this down here, and I'm just gonna add a gray material to this real quick, just so it looks nice. Alright, so there we go, guys. So I hope this helps in, you know, in you guys' process of making furniture, cabinet-like objects, anything like that. So again, remember, these open, everything works nice here, and same here. And also notice, you know, repetition is the thing. You want to have these linked to each one of these has to be linked to its own drawer, like so. That way you only have to move just the drawers. I think it came out a little top far, but that's alright. But yeah, so there you go. I hope this helped, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact me on this.